can murder a liberator, but you can't murder liberation. You can murder a revolutionary, but you can't murder revolution. And you can murder a freedom fighter, but you can't murder freedom.
You're tapped in, so let's get right to it. The CBC, everybody, that is the Congressional Black Congress. It was established in 1971 explicitly to support, represent, and advance the interests of Black Americans and other marginalized communities. It was founded by 13 African-American House members. It was created to unify their legislative voice against issues like racism, poverty, and voting rights inequalities. Key aspects of its inception: purpose, created to amplify the voices of Black legislators and address the specific needs of their constituents, serving as a legislative voice. Originated from the Democracy Select Committee in 1969, a group formed by Representative Charles Diggs Jr. to discuss common political challenges. Mission: to transform protest into policy, addressing issues such as employment, healthcare, and education. Founding principles: the founders envisioned a, at times, nonpartisan approach, described by founder Representative William L. Clay Sr. as having no permanent friends, no permanent enemies, just permanent interest, okay? Initial action: the 1971 boycott of the State of the Union for being denied a meeting with President Nixon highlighted their intent to be a powerful, direct advocate for Black Americans. What happened? Now, when Trump did the State of the Union, you know, I was having a discussion the other night with my brother-in-law and my stepson. We were talking about old ways and traditions, and how, as a result of the younger generation not following suit, not keeping those old ways and traditions close, by not doing that, they lose step. You know, they tend to veer off in directions that have been proven to not have worked, you know, because they're new. And as a result, they end up losing ground. They end up falling again. They're off course. The focus has been lost. It veered to the left or to the right or whatever, you know, it fell by the wayside. By keeping with traditions in old ways, we understand that there are certain rules and principles laid down as part of the foundation that we are supposed to stand on. You step off that, you step into a quagmire sometimes. You step into quicksand. You step into situations that you have no remedy or solutions for because this thing is new. It hasn't been tried. It's not true. It's not proven. All right. So we have this this CBC, this Congressional Black Caucus of today, who do not stick to the traditions. You know, the CBC was founded on certain principles that should have been adhered to. They should have stuck to them no matter what. One of the examples they just gave was Richard M. Nixon having a speech or giving the State of the Union, and the CBC boycotted the whole State of the Union. That in and of itself spoke volumes. It spoke volumes, and I'm pretty sure it gave to them the realization that, hey, when we stick together and we do things as one, as a unit, we get results. And they did receive results. What happened after that, I don't know, you know, but what I do know is that we see, in terms of our representatives, the Congress and those in the Senate, they don't follow tradition or certain, you know, protocols, principles, you know, and very few, if any of them, lack integrity. Their mission is no longer about the Black cause or the Black issue. In this system, we know to be, you know, rife with white supremacy. You know, institutional racism is everywhere. It's abound. I heard someone just say just recently that things have changed. It's gotten better. Racism is not like it used to be. No, it's evolved as well. You know, but to their benefit, and again to our disadvantage. You know, things do change, but we have a CBC now that does not adhere to tradition. Most of them are in politics now. And if we look closely, we'll see this. It's right in our face They're in politics for themselves. Most of them are multimillionaires, and most of their districts or those they supposed to represent still live and exist in poverty, miseducation, no health care, very little. You know, the economic status of the community is just it's it's embarrassing, it's shameful. Yet they continue to thrive. They have sponsors, they have donors who commit and contribute hundreds of thousands to millions of dollars to their campaigns. They very rarely come back to the community to campaign, you know, unless they're being challenged by some outsider or usurper. And then they come back talking about the Black Power thing, but as it stands, they do not represent the people any longer. Any longer. All right. I just want to say that. That being said, let me move on. Its initial action, the 1971 boycott of the State of the Union for being denied, just for being denied, a meeting with President Nixon, highlighted their intent to be a powerful, direct advocate for Black Americans. We do not see that in the representation of the CBC today. No, their advocacy is for everybody first before us. If those of you who want to argue against that, be my guest, go right ahead. For everything you say in favor of them, I'll give you two things that would dishonor their representation for us. All right. So when the Congressional Black Caucus, the CBC, speaks of supporting marginalized communities, and we hear that now. We hear that in 2026. A lot of them will get up there. A lot of these CBCers, these boule types, these gatekeepers, these frat and sorority people will get up and say, well, I'm not going to do nothing for the Black community. I'm going to do something for all the people. Funny thing is that the Black community is still worse off than all the others. Why would you not put Black first, knowing what you know? Or maybe you wouldn't because you haven't been in touch. You are out of touch with the Black community. But anyway, it speaks of supporting marginalized communities. It refers to groups that have historically been underrepresented in government or faces systemic barriers, to opportunity. While its primary focus is the Black American experience, the CBC views itself as a broader conscious of the Congress. Well, we in the Black community, we see one thing happening and one thing only. Congressional Black Caucus members supporting everybody else first before they do the work of Black Americans, which needs to be done. There's a lot that has been left neglected in our communities by these so-called politicians or these representatives who, we put in office. All right. I'm not going to get too deep off in this. I have a clip as usual. I want to run this clip. And this is to give us context, okay, in terms of what's being said, not just by tact, but what's being said in the community. We think as a whole, it's high time that we let those CBCers and others who resemble us, it's high time we put them on notice. It's time to get them out of office. That's what it's time for. It's time for them to go. They're rich. They're rich enough. Most of them, if not all of them, own their homes. They have other businesses on the side. They make millions of dollars every year. They're okay. So we've served their purpose. It's high time we get rid of them. But I have a clip. But let's bring this clip in. Before I do, as always, please like, share, follow, and subscribe to TAP. That is the Art of Political Discourse. We appreciate each and every one of you in terms of your participation and your viewership. We thank you. We always would thank you for that. Okay, that being said, let's jump into this piece because, it's one of them things. It's one of them things. All hell should break loose as a result of what's going on. And the fact that we are starting to see this, Black people are waking up now. And a lot of us realize that when that happens, or as it happens, we're going to start calling people. We're going to start holding their feet to the fire. And we're going to start getting rid of a lot of those who have no business being our representatives. Politics has become a hustle. It's a grift. You know, a lot of our brothers and sisters who go up to the Hill, you know, who go to Washington, D.C., those who sit in, you know, the House of Representatives or the houses here in the States, they have no interest that would actually, you know, point to them really serving the people. And again, there are very few, if any, there are very few who really take that to heart and mean what they say when they say they are going to represent Black America. All right. So let me get to this clip. And this clip is courtesy of African Diaspora News Channel. I like them. I subscribe. Philip, one of the guys I listen to, Demetria also is someone I listen to. So let's see what they have to say about this.
The Black Democrats aren't even hiding the agenda of use Black people to vote for us, but help everybody else. Now, next year.
All right, I got to stop because she goes in immediately. And I tend to not want to do that. You know, I don't want to, you know, scare anyone away or ruffle feathers, but I'm getting to the point where that's not, you know, necessary. That should be a requirement. Let the people know what's really going on. The CBC can give one flying flick about any of us. So have at him, Demetria.
You're going to hear from Representative Sidney Comlager Dove from California. She's been there since 2023 as a House of Representative member, but she went on to Politics Nation with Al Sharpton and said this.
As Representative Fields said, this is a devastating blow to Black voters, to minority voters. That is why the Congressional Black Caucus is going to be making its way down to Louisiana to remind voters that they still have an obligation to fight and that we are going to meet this moment in the courts as well as in the streets. You know, Clarence Thomas hopefully should find a piece of his Black self and come on down to Louisiana with us. But
that's the kid who called the pot Black because they can give less than Clarence Thomas, honestly. The Black issue, the Black cause, any of that concerning us have been, again, just dropped over to the wayside. They can care less. It's about everybody else. It's more about immigrants, you know, and capturing their vote, securing their vote than it is about doing the work for the people. We've been in this a long time, and here we are still going through some of these same things. And we get these new politicians every 2 to 4 years. Some last longer, but they come in with selling the same promises, but delivering nothing. And here she is, just talking like a motor, like an outboard motor, just going. You know, none of it is registering with Black America. They have this issue with SCOTUS, the Supreme Court, knocking down provisions of Section 2 of the 1965 Voting Rights Act because of people like this. They forget what they go there for. Had they been focusing on their job, mindful of what the GOP, whatever, white supremacy is doing behind closed doors, if they were on their game, they would have something in place for this. They'd have been ready before it even got to the Supreme Court. The arguments would have been super strong. They would have been able to notify Samuel Alito that his decision based upon some DOJ information, which was erroneous, would be unacceptable. And he would have thought twice of using that as his reason. These people aren't on their game. She's been in politics 4 years. Wonder what her bank account looks like today as opposed to when she started 4 years ago. Keep in mind, they make $172,000 a year. I wonder what her bank account and her assets look like today.
But it is important to note that many of us that are African Americans in Congress do not represent minority seats. We are doing the work of all of the people: Republicans, Democrats, Black folks, white folks, Asian folks, brown folks.
That's why we're in the position we're in, politically speaking, because you guys have forgotten to support the people who sent you there. You forgot your people. Everybody you just named in there, they take care of their people first.
And when we do our jobs, we are fighting for everyone, and the tide rises for all of the boats. And so we still have an obligation to remind folks that, yes, you have your power is in your vote. And if you level the playing field, if you allow it to be equal, then let all of the candidates run and leave it to the voters to decide who is going to represent them the best. That's what I have had to do in all of my time in elected office. I've been honored to represent districts that are incredibly diverse, but I am serving all of the people, not just Black people.
Now, I want to repeat to you what she said because she actually tweeted it. She goes, most members of Congress, like me, are not from majority Black districts. At the Black Caucus works for all Americans to ensure a rising tide lifts all boats. While we fight back against SCOTUS's ruling that dilutes Black voting power, we'll keep representing the people.
And that's why that happened. They forgot to represent the Black votes. They forgot to take care of their base. Congressional Black Caucus forgot to take care of their constituents, their people.
Okay, now you heard her say, the member of the Congressional Black Caucus, she tweeted or added rather the Congressional Black Caucus, and she said that we are working for all the people. And you heard her say it, okay? She said not just Black people at the end. And who did that sound like? Listen to this.
Any policy that will benefit Black people will benefit all of society. Let's be clear about that. Let's really be clear about that.
So there that is, you have these individuals, and I think for good reason, a lot of Black people, women and men, do not trust her. Kamala should not trust her, though she may have a Black father, she does not relate or even interact with Blacks like that, She said what she said, she meant it. Kamala and others like her, basically gatekeepers, they come out of these, again, sororities and fraternities, want to be boule types, they actually work and do the work for others rather than themselves. That's the instruction. Those are their rules. Those are the rules they abide by. We give them our vote. They go to the Hill, or they go into these state houses and do the politics, not of the people, but of those who are in power. We are intentionally being held back by our own people. That's what it boils down to. The AIPAC, J Street, and other PACs can come into them and with donations or sponsorships under the table, greasing of the palms, insider trading information can sway their vote. They can buy their vote to vote for those things that will serve Israel before it serves the Black community. The same Israel that they have to be aware of, as well as we are aware of, saying that the Black youth here in America is an existential threat to Israel. And yet they support Israel. These are our enemies. These aren't our people. They are not our people. They do not represent Black America, African Americans, or FBAs. They are not our people.
So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit Black people. No.
Yes, that was Kamala, who's also from California, says, I'm not going to do something that just benefits Black people. No, right? Mm-hmm. So that's why I said that this agenda is being spoken out loud and proud, right? Like, yes, we'll use Black votes, but we're going to help everybody. But I always ask this, what does the Hispanic Caucus's mission say? They don't say marginalized people and all other people. They say Hispanics, okay? The Asians as well, even the Caribbeans, okay? They all have caucuses. They don't say all others, right? Or even Black people. It's the Black Caucus. That's Black folks or African Americans and other marginalized groups of people. So again, there she is with Al Sharpton just speaking it all out loud. Yeah, we'll lead off with Blacks, but of course, we're going to help all people. My thing is, how do y'all have time to help all people when Black folks here in America that send y'all to office have so many needs and issues that have not been dealt with.
Well, that's the whole thing. They don't. And it shows. If they're helping all people, then that means someone will not get the attention they need. Guess who that is? That's us. Now, again, Kamala's just one. Kamala's just one. Okay. You have Yvette Clark. You have Troy Carter. You have who is that? You have Lucy Macbeth. You have that was her we just saw, Kamala Dove, or Congressman what's her name? Yeah, it is Kamala Dove. Sydney is her first name. You have Marilyn Strickland. She looks Asian, actually. You have Hakeem Jeffries. And you have this guy here. And he's another piece of work. Joe Negasi. None of these people actually give a flying flick about any of us. Most of their agendas do deal with others more than they deal with the Black community or Black America. Most of them. No, they don't have time for us because they're doing the work of everybody else. That's the problem. Okay? That's the problem.
How is that you find the time, ma'am? And I see you a lot there in Congress, and you real spicy, right? You kind of like Jasmine Crockett diet, right? Jasmine Crockett light. What do you mean? Right? You kind of like the amen section where people are talking and things like that. But there you are saying, I'm not just gonna help Black people. Then why you keep talking about the Congressional Black Caucus, man? Why you keep talking about Black people? Because again, I don't hear the Hispanics talking like that. The Asians or nobody else. I always see you so-called Black folks representing Black people, and I say that lightly. I always see y'all run around talking about everybody else's issues. But then when this United States Supreme Court decision came down about, you can't use race in a sense to rope off districts. Now y'all back to talking about Blacks. But y'all talk about us from a victimhood standpoint. We gonna keep fighting. So y'all all gonna go to Louisiana, and do what, ma'am? What are y'all gonna do there besides rebel rouse and scream and holler? What are you gonna do?
And look for the Black community to come up and fight, get their heads busted, go to jail for some stuff that they didn't do. Had they done their job and represented Black people like they should have, they wouldn't be in this position. But yeah, they're gonna go, and it's okay. Here we have another fight for you guys. Come on out here and protest with us. Come on, go and get upside the head, get arrested, get a record. Oh, because we didn't do our job. We were focusing on everybody else but you guys. We apologize, but come on, we need you on the front lines now. It's bigger than the vote now. We need your bodies. No. These people should be voted out of office. Each and every one of them should be recalled. Each and every one of them. Jasmine Crockett too. All of them are in the business of politics for themselves. It's what they can get as a result of being involved in politics. It's not what they can give to the Black community. They're not concerned or worried about giving us anything. This stuff has been going on for a very long time. It's nothing new about this stuff. I think that just now, there's a certain fevered pitch. There's a certain regard and concern surrounding it now. People are waking up and saying, hey, man, what the hell? What do you mean? No.
You're not going to do anything. You're just going there for show. You're going to take all your cameras and get in front of all these microphones, and you're going to say the same things you always say. We're going to overcome. We're going to continue to fight. Nobody believes you, ma'am. Nobody believes you're going to do a doggone thing for Black folks, because you're not, okay? You're going to act like you are.
They have their script. They know what they're supposed to do. They know that those at the top know that they're going to gather and go and protest in Louisiana, maybe Tennessee and others. And they've already been told how to carry themselves. They can't get out of line. They will not get out of line. Not one of them will. They're going to go like Demetrius said, and get in front of the mics and say a whole bunch of nothing. None of them are going to take responsibility as to why we are in this position, why they got to be down there to begin with. None of them would take responsibility or hold themselves accountable for this lapse, this political lapse. They would sleep on the job. Not a one would say, you know what, that's our fault. It's the Congressional Black Caucus's fault that this happened. We were caught slipping. We were worried about everybody else's issues and problems but our own.
But then you're going to do the real agenda, and that's help everybody else, because we know, especially when Trump came into office, yes, y'all picked up illegal immigration as if it was near and dear to your heart. And again, y'all, Auntie Maxine and back alleys chasing her behind ICE. And, you know, Karen Bass, who was the mayor there in Los Angeles, she's chasing ICE out of parks and giving illegal immigrants Angelino cards. And you got Assemblyman Isaac Bryan, he's marching the streets, you know, for illegal immigration while practicing benign neglect of black folks there in Los Angeles, California. So you're going to go to Louisiana and do what?
Go on, Demetri, tell the truth.
You're going to help those black folks? Or you just going to say, hey, listen to us bloviate even more than we do on a normal basis?
Photo op.
I'm just asking. So yeah, y'all pay attention to when they speak. She told y'all, I'm not making this up, that I'm not going to just help black people. I'm not helping just black people. She says all, okay? These aren't my words. Those are hers. So you can rewind this back and listen to it again if you didn't hear it the first time.
Well, there that is. And those are facts, all right? Those weren't Demetrius' words. We heard her say that herself. But see, that shouldn't be surprising to any of us. It should be nothing new to any of us. Again, we've been in this position, this predicament, because of our black politicians for a very, 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 very long time. For a very, very, very long time. From Jesse Jackson on, you know, you name them, they've all been a party to this bamboozling of the black vote, the black population. They've done nothing for us. They've done nothing for us. If had they been on their jobs, we wouldn't be in this position. But again, they've been chasing everyone's causes, everyone else's cause, but the black agenda, the black cause. None of them understand the phrase black first. Again, if you say anything to them about that black first, they'll look at you like you're crazy. Oh no, I'm for all people. And that's exactly what they're for. You know, so give us your thoughts on this, all right? Drop them in the comments, whether you agree or black politicians corrupt and full of shit, or are they fighting a no-winning battle? You know, what is your take on this? Let us know. Let us know if we got it right or if they got it right. We have it wrong or do they have it wrong? Your comments will be appreciated and addressed, each and every one of them. So until next time, take care of yourselves and each other.
You can murder a liberator, but you can't murder liberation. You can murder a revolutionary, but you can't murder revolution. And you can murder a freedom fighter, but you can't murder freedom.